welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E,
I'm D.
and today we're going to talk about an icon, a legend. But, she's had a little, I guess, trouble. Her life hasn't been all that great. We just have to blame Kevin Federline. And I think at this point, that I'm talking about Britney Spears. Every millennial probably got an extra piercing because of her. And every millennial, I mean me, I got an extra piercing because she was in that Sometimes video.
Yeah.
And then, doing the little, and then she had like all these piercings.
Oh my
I
God.
digress. But, Britney has been very influential in all our lives. We've seen her rise and her fall. Literally, that's what we're going to call it today. The rise and fall of Britney Spears. So today we're going to go over basically like a timeline of her life, like her stardom and then, all the troubles she's experienced, including a divorce, Kevin Federline asking for more money because that's what he does.
Yeah.
And just, basically our thoughts on Britney's life, which is kind of sad, but we'll talk about it. Dio, get us started.
Right. Well, I know we're gonna talk about this as the rise and fall, but I'm hoping she rises again. Because that's childhood right there.
This
Speaking
childhood.
of childhood, we'll start off with the very beginning of how we were introduced to Britney Spears. She first showed off her vocal skills on the singing competition Star Search. Who remembers that? Like, oh my God. At the at 10 years old in 1992. Then in 93, Britney made her debut on the all-new Mickey Mouse Club with Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, and her future boyfriend, Justin Timberlake.
Don't say it like that. Don't.
Whatever. I'll get to that later.
She started it, but whatever.
Following a stint on the Mickey Mouse Club, she signed a record deal at 15 years old with Jive Records. Jive Records? Wow.
I know.
In 97 and created chart-topping hits. Of course. The first single, the most iconic Britney Spears song that you can think of, Baby One More Time, in October of 1998. So then in 2002, after like already dominating for so many years, Britney and Justin Timberlake became Hollywood's hottest couple for nearly 4 years until Britney reportedly strayed from the relationship. I call BS, but whatever.
Why? You don't know that. You weren't there.
Yeah, and neither was anybody else. So unless Justin has proof and receipts that she did something, I don't believe it. Anywho, so Timberlake went on to write his single that he should be paying Britney for, Cry Me a River. Seemingly about Britney's infidelity with a lookalike of the singer starring in the music video. When I tell you, that video had us hot back in those days.
I'm like, that video was like, who, Colin Farrell?
No, wait, what?
Like the lookalike? Wasn't it like Colin Farrell that she cheated with?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about him being the subject. See, because I didn't believe it. Because I believe my girl Britney. Anyway.
Whatever. It's because you have a bad memory.
That too, but I still believe my girl Britney. So
Whatever.
in 2003, Britney made headlines for kissing Madonna during the opening of the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards. Then in 2004, oh, Britney, she briefly married her childhood friend, Jason Alexander, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Their marriage was annulled 55 hours later. I love it. Britney then started seeing her backup dancer, these damn backup dancers, Kevin Federline. The twosome were engaged after 3 months of dating and documented their relationship on a reality series titled Britney and Kevin Chaotic. Yeah,
Which is
foreshadowing. They wed at their home in September of 2004. Then in 2005, she welcomed their first son, Sean Preston. In 2006, less than a year after Britney welcomed Sean Preston, she made headlines for driving with the then infant on her lap rather than in a car seat in February of 2006. A quote, "I was terrified that this time the physically aggressive paparazzi would put both me and my baby in danger. She said in a statement, "At the time, I instinctively took measures to get my baby and me out of harm's way, but the paparazzi continued to stalk us. I love my child and would do anything to protect him." Brittany and Federline welcomed their second son, Jaden, in September of 2006. 3 months later, the couple called it quits, basically. Brittany filed for divorce from Federline, citing irreconcilable differences in November of 2006. She was often seen partying in Los Angeles that same year, with photos of her out with Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan, causing a stir in December of 2006. I mean, my God. Talk about dating. Like,
No.
Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan.
You
Anyway.
know, I just want to say before we continue, I think 2006 was when I guess everything kind of went downhill for her because now everything that we say is just starts,
I know.
you know,
Oh,
going downhill, like I said. It makes me
yeah,
sad.
it really is. Then in 2007, Britney hit a breaking point, thus the sad part, when paparazzi captured her shaving her head at a hair salon and subsequently attacked the photographer's car with an umbrella. We've all seen that picture, I'm sure. A struggle with addiction and undisclosed mental illness and a bitter custody battle with Federline were reportedly all behind her behavior. At this time, she temporarily lost primary custody of her boys, which, I mean, come on. After months of setbacks, Britney was criticized for her attempt at a comeback while performing Give Me More at the 2007 VMAs. In 2008, Britney was hospitalized and under evaluation for 72 hours, also known as a 5150 hold. The performer's father, Jamie Spears, was also named her conservator. Now, if there's anybody to blame here, it's this man. Whew, we'll get to
Oh,
that
the whole family, they ain't ish.
at all. At all. So, him being the conservator gave him control over her finances and really her as a person. By the end of the year, Britney had released her sixth studio album, Circus, much to the delight of her fans. The singer also appeared to be in better spirits and hit the road for the Circus tour, which would become her highest grossing tour. So, well, that was one bright spot there, at least. And then for several years, things were kind of quiet up until 2013, following the release of her seventh and eighth studio albums, Femme Fatale and Britney Jean, respectively. The pop icon announced she had landed a Las Vegas residency, and I was so excited. The show, titled Britney, Piece of Me, debuted at Planet Hollywood in December of 2013. While it was initially set for 2 years, the popular show ran for 4 years, and concluding in December of 2017. And I'm so sad I missed it. Like,
Why didn't we go?
I don't know. But I regret it. So then, in 2018, Britney and Federline's relationship was back in the news after he filed for more child support following Britney's successful Vegas residency. Oh boy. Britney is angry Kevin is asking for more money because she pays for everything. A source told us exclusively at the time, "Those boys are her world. She is an amazing mother." The exes reached an agreement in September of 2018, with Britney paying Federline an additional $15,000 a month. I don't even. I don't even. The original agreement had her giving Federline $20,000 a month. Like, anyway, in 2019, Britney announced she was going on an indefinite work hiatus and putting her second Las Vegas residency, titled Domination, on hold after her father, Jamie, fell ill. Nearly 3 months later, multiple sources confirmed to us that the star checked into a mental health facility amid concerns over Jamie's illness. And in 2020, Britney requested to have her father permanently removed as her conservator in August of 2020, in favor of having Montgomery become her sole care manager, who was also a co-conservator, essentially. Her lawyer, Samuel Ingham, told the court that she strongly opposed having Jamie return in the role. Yeah.
Well, all right. So in February 2021, Hulu released an episode of the New York Times Presents titled Framing Britney Spears, which renewed public interest in her conservatorship. In June 2021, Britney broke her silence about her 13-year conservatorship during a 20-minute address to the court, that was a full bombshell of revelations. She said that she felt enslaved by her father, adding that she had been forced to take lithium against her will, among other things. So this is a quote, and she says, fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth. I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry. It's insane. She said, I cry every day.
That's so fun.
I know. Brittany also claimed that she wanted to have another child, but her conservators had prevented her from going to the doctor to have her IUD removed. I have an IUD in my body right now that they won't let me remove, and I want to have a baby, basically. I want to get married and have a baby. I was told by the conservatorship I was not able to get married and have a baby. So basically, she can't have a life because they
Yeah.
dictate, what she can and cannot do. In August 2021, US confirmed that Britney was under investigation for battery after her housekeeper claimed that the performer slapped the cell phone out of her hands. This part made me laugh a little bit. You know why? Because it reminded me of Naomi Campbell when she threw the cell phone at somebody.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm inappropriate, guys. Sorry. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office told us that the alleged altercation occurred at the Grammy winner's California home and that there were no injuries at the time. The following day, TMZ reported that the incident was allegedly related to the housekeeper's concern about Britney's dogs.
Hmm.
After the singer asked the dog sitter to take them to the vet, the animals were reportedly not seen again.
Oh,
When Brittany asked about their whereabouts, the housekeeper claimed that she was concerned about the dogs being neglected, and that is when the alleged altercation happened.
okay.
In
Hmm.
September 2021, Brittany announced that she was engaged to longtime boyfriend, now about to be ex husband,
Oh,
Sam Asghari. The duo met in 2016 on the set of her Slumber Party music video. She says, I can't effing believe it. Brittany wrote on Instagram, sharing a video of herself showing off the ring with her fiance by her side. Gold digger. Uh, Brittany's conservatorship officially ended in November 2021 after 13 years. The pop star celebrated her 40th birthday, her first since the termination of her conservatorship, with her fiance, who joined her for an international vacation. So a lot happened in 2021. We're
Yeah.
getting there, guys. We're getting there. All right. In 2022, Brittany announced that she was expecting her third child in April 2022 with her fiance. However, 1 month later, they revealed that they suffered a pregnancy loss. Brittany wed Asghari in intimate ceremony at the California home on June 9th. So we all saw pictures of it. The who's who of Hollywood was there: Paris Hilton, Madonna, Selena Gomez.
Mhm.
Honestly, I didn't even know she had all those friends still.
I
You know.
didn't either. Did not.
Um, let's see what else. After previously claiming that her mother secretly ruined her life through her conservatorship, Brittany hinted that her relationship with Lynn was on the mend. Brittany shared a since deleted 22-minute long audio clip detailing a pure abuse she allegedly suffered at the hands of her family. In
Wow.
addition to claiming that her 13-year conservatorship was premeditated and set up by her parents, per Variety, which she claims was kicked off by Jamie and Lynn staging a medical emergency, she got candid about her emotions when wondering how her family was allowed to get away with her alleged abuse.
Mm.
So maybe she tried to fix things and then they triggered her, and then
Right.
she comes out with, like, more things to say. So in 2023, we're going to break it down a little bit. The pop star and her husband denied rumors that an intervention was staged amid concerns over her well being. But, earlier this month, well, what month are we in? September?
September.
August. In August 2023, Brittany and Sam decided to call it quits after more than a year of marriage.
Wow.
So we're going to stop right there for now. What do we think about Britney's life from basically 1992 to 2023?
I mean, that poor girl.
She's
Jeez.
been through it.
She has. And I think it's very clear, especially given that from the age of 10, she was, in the spotlight and everything, that her family has ran the show. Her family has used her as a cash cow. And it seems like everyone that she has allowed into her life has used her as a cash cow. Like, that's it. She got married to Federline, who has been like just bleeding her dry, like forever and ever. Um, and then, like now this other husband, about to be ex-husband, it's a lot. And then I want to say that after her conservatorship ended, that Jamie tried to say he was owed money or something like that. Like he was still trying to get money from her. So it's like, to me, it's sad all around, because it's like, yes, you can kind of tell even from way back when she had, the 2007 meltdown and everything. You could tell that something was going on with her. Like, should there have been an intervention? Probably. Like, luckily nothing happened to her in the sense of like she's no longer with us. There was a lot of pop stars over the years who unfortunately didn't have help, or didn't have people kind of like look out for them. There's, Whitney Houston, who was like, I mean, amazing, and unfortunately, she died. And then there's Amy Winehouse, who was going to be super huge. Same thing, like she had some issues, she died. And so I'm glad that in a way Britney Spears avoided that. I don't like the way in which her family went about it. Um, Maybe if it had just been something temporary, that'd be okay. But 13 years controlling her life, that's insane. And then not only that, they robbed her of like her youth. They robbed her of the chance to find love, maybe in a different way. Had she like found the proper help mentally, then she maybe could have found the right man. Because clearly the people she's been finding are similar to her family. So it's like they robbed her of all these things. And even worse, they robbed her of like raising her children properly. Like, that's gotta suck, like on so many levels. I mean, she's, I think, in her 40s now. And, it's like every other day there's some kind of like social media thing where people are just like, what's wrong with Britney? What is she doing? Like, what's going on? And it's just sad because she was so big for so long, and she really did like make a lot of people happy, back in the day. So I don't know. It makes me sad.
I think, like I said before, in 2006, I think that's when her life, I'm going to say, started going downhill.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, in 2005, she welcomed her first son. In 2006, she welcomed her second son. She was having trouble with Kevin Federline.
Right.
Nobody thought of postpartum.
That's true. Wow. Yep. That's true.
And I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I'm so sad that they robbed her of all these experiences. And
Yeah.
I want to say shame on some people. Like a lot of, I don't know if it's millennials or Gen Z or people that are like free Britney. I'm like, Britney still has issues. I'm like, I
Mhm.
know you guys think, she's great right now, but she looks like she's missing a screw. Like, and I'm saying this in the harshest way. Let me find the nicer way. It looks like she is very troubled still.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't look the same. If you look at Instagram, and she does like these weird dances, and it seems like, I don't know if I don't want to say that she's like on some kind of medication or anything, but she just doesn't seem all there. Like
Yeah.
I feel like she still needs the help, and
Yeah.
probably the conservatorship sent her even more in a downward spiral.
Right.
Just imagine you can't do anything, then your family's telling you what to do. I
Yeah.
think in those circus tour or the residency, she was forced to do those things.
Right.
So she was forced to take these medications. I think they said, or she said that she had to get naked in front of people when she didn't want to,
Oh,
kind of thing. I
wow.
think it was like like to get dressed or
Yeah.
whatever. She had to go to therapy or psychiatric thing, whatever she had to do whenever they told her to. Just
Mhm.
imagine she's not all there and everybody being, cheering her on right now. I'm like, no, we should be trying to look for some help for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see the point there. I mean, like I said, the conservatorship was not, to me, it was not the way to go. You know, um, her family, I mean, they're horrible people. Because at the end of the day, she needed help. Like, she didn't need to be put out, like, on stage. Because there was no reason for her to have done the VMAs when she looked like she was, like, not even herself. She looked like a shell of herself. And then to
Hmm.
force her to do the Vegas residency, which, like, if you're doing a residency, those are daily shows, I think. And you're doing them over and over and over. Like, that's taxing, for people. So it's like, she's going through all these issues that are not being addressed, that she's not getting help for. And then her family's making her put out more albums, making her tour, making her do, shows and everything. At which point does she get the help that she needs? Like, at which point is she really properly being taken care of? And I think that, like, she probably, like, held on as much as she could, thinking that somebody would come and save her. And, like, nobody did, if not for the fans. I mean, the fans did. Like, they did start the Free Britney move. And maybe in some ways, like, yeah, there was a little bit, like, overzealousness to it, and people should be aware of that she does need help, but she definitely needed to be free from that conservatorship. Like, that was 13 years too long, like, a couple months, I get it, but 13 years, that's terrible. And so I hadn't, thought of, like, what you mentioned with the postpartum thing, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If she had already had issues going on, right? Any kind of possible mental health issues prior to that. And then you add on postpartum, I can't even imagine, like, how she could have been managing at that time. And then let's not forget that, like, paparazzi were also, I think, even worse back then than they are now. I feel like it's kind of chilled out. And so, like, to be hounded that much all the time, that's, man, like, I can't imagine. That's horrible. And so it's sad because obviously there's no way to go back in time. And I think her family's like, it's unforgivable. Like, I can't, anytime I see Jamie Lynn Spears, I want to punch her in her face. I mean,
Not that we condone violence,
no,
guys.
right. No violence. No. But you
But
know what I mean.
with her recent marriage, her family wasn't present. I mean,
No.
probably because of Britney's,
Yeah.
own thing. But
Yeah.
even when you said that they robbed her of everything, they robbed her of her childhood too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's just been a little. But why did they need to go to such lengths to control her money? Was she trying to leave, and then they're like, let's stage this intervention to have all this money? Where's that
I
reconciliation? I know Brittany was trying to do something like that, track all her money and how it was spent. How's that going? That's the little accountant in me. Gotta look that
You know what probably happened? Kevin Federline. Because, like, the fact that he was going to be able to, like, also get money out of her consistently because of the fact that they had two kids. And, like, what, like, 2006, it was, what, a few months after the baby was born that they separated.
Hmm.
I assume her family must have been like, okay, before he takes her money, let's get our hands on it. Because then at that point, it's like, Brittany would have done anything for her kids. If Kevin
Yeah.
Federline would have asked for $1 million for, like, her kids, I think she would have given it to him. So I can assume that her family probably, like, freaked out with the thought of this man taking her money when they thought that money was theirs. That's the only, like, thing I can think of. It's like, let's make sure she doesn't give away this money because, in the state of mind she was in, who knows what could have happened. And it was probably all about that, making sure that they were the ones that had the control and not her. And definitely not Kevin Federline.
Wait, when did Crimea River come out again?
It was like in 2003,
Uh,
2000, por ahí,
let's look it up. 2000, but 2002. I'm like,
2002.
don't you remember that people were trying to make her a villain? It was like, oh my God, we can't believe Justin did that. And then, she was going out with Lindsay and all of them. So she was considered like a party girl. She went out with no
Yeah.
draws. She made
Yeah.
that popular.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, all that paparazzi, all that fame pressure,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
all the things that went
there
on
was
after.
there was a Barbara Walters interview, I think. And I love my girl Barbara, but it was a very problematic interview. Ooh, where she basically like did villainize her about the whole cheating allegations, and like Brittany looked like she was about ready to like start crying, and I was like, oh my god, like why would you say any of these things, ask any of these things of people like that, especially knowing that she's vulnerable. You can
Mhm,
see that. That's the thing. It's like people like to turn a blind eye to stuff, like because maybe it's like, oh, maybe you don't fully notice it. Maybe you're not 100% sure about something. No, bro, we knew something was going on with her for a long time. There's no, nah, she'll be okay. No, she shook her head in public. I
that was.
understand it now. As an adult, I
I
understand.
get it. I'm like, girl, I want to do it, but I have a hair attachment. But girl, I would do it.
You, I
Get
totally
you.
get you, Brittany. But back in those days, how did you not think this girl's going through something? Like so yeah, it's just and then going to your point about like, her social media usage. I will be honest, I do not
Always
like
in the
her.
same place, wearing the same little underwear that's not even like put on properly, like doing the same little dances. It's like, somebody that was trained to do something like a certain thing for so
Yeah.
long that that's like what she does all the time. It's always
Mhm.
the same moves, the same twirls. Plies is currently making fun of that, which I love it, but I hate it, but I love it.
Lies.
He's currently obsessed with it. I love it.
Of course he's upset. Of course. But in regards to that, I just think that I I I can't watch it. I
No,
feel
I had
like
to stop following her. I'm like, I couldn't watch it anymore.
no. I think that it's just better for me, and that's kind of what I've been doing. It's just like let me keep her in a good light. Let me remember her as I want to remember. Because a few months ago, I came across the video Lucky, and it was like the biggest foreshadowing of somebody's life you could ever imagine. And it made me so sad. I was like,
That's a
what did
sad
she
song.
do her? Yes. But
But
it's
she
literally her life.
tries in her lonely nights. I
I
know.
mean, yeah. Like, she it's like literally she basically predicted her whole life in that song, and it's so depressing because yeah, like that's exactly what's happened. She was the biggest pop star. I want to say that's how the song went. It's like, oh, the
Mm,
biggest pop star, and she felt alone, she was sad, she was depressed. It's like it looks from the outside like she has everything, but why does she cry every night? Like that's
mm.
horrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, makes me sad.
And I think it was when she was in at court that she was talking about her conservatorship. And I think this was like a time, well, sometime in between, where it was like, oh, well, Miley Cyrus has been acting a fool, and
Yeah.
XYZ has been doing this, and they're not under conservatorships. So
Yeah.
why should I be?
Right.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess if the family was always saying, "Yeah, Brittany, she can't handle it," that's why she was in that conservatorship for so long.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
at
don't.
the end of the day, like, um, when you have legal power over something or someone, it is really hard to like get out of that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like all you have to do is show the courts it's still needed, and they'll continue it. And so the fact that she was never allowed up until recently, right, to speak her piece, like that's something that is sad in and of itself, because it's like she has had no rights, and like they stripped her even more so of those rights. The legal system did, because those conservatorships just were allowed to continue, and where's the welfare check and all that stuff? Like, I don't know. It's all overall just like really terrible situation. And she's, got a crappy life.
Very much. But her crappy life hasn't ended yet. So we're going to
No,
talk about the
gosh,
divorce now.
that's so
So
true.
as I mentioned earlier, in August 2023, Brittany and Asghari decided to call it quits after more than 1 year of marriage. They Sam filed for divorce from Brittany hours before the news of the split broke, fueling unverified speculation over the singer's alleged infidelity and his desire to contest the couple's prenuptial agreement.
Oh my God.
The filing also states Asghari is seeking spousal support from his estranged wife as well as attorney's fees for the divorce. So he's planning to challenge it basically. But what's most shocking is Brittany was a little shocked about the split.
She was?
Yep. She wrote on IG, and this is like a condensed version. As you know, Hessam and I are no longer together, she wrote. 6 years is a long time to be with someone, so I'm a little shocked, but dot dot dot. I'm not here to explain why. It's honestly nobody's business. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. But I couldn't take the pain anymore, honestly. In some sort of telepathic way, I have been receiving so many messages that melt my heart from friends, and I thank you. But yeah, I think it caught her by surprise. And then there was like more things that were saying that, he was traveling all the time or he wasn't present. I don't know why they got married in the first place, but whatever. So that was Forbes. And then, according to BuzzFeed News, it was revealed that Sam and Brittany had legally split on July 28th,
Oh,
weeks before they filed for divorce August 16th. Sources close to the pair allege that the prenuptial agreement will prevent Sam from getting anything from Brittany, including spousal support. But now TMZ alleged that Brittany is covering fees of Sam's new apartment after he moved out of her Thousand Oaks home. Guess how much she's paying? Just throw it out there for me.
I don't. I don't even. I.
All right, guys, write it in the comments. Guess how much? 3, 2, 1. All right. Brittany is paying $10,000 a month for Sam's apartment, which is apparently in an incredibly high-end LA complex. What do we think about this divorce? He ain't ish.
He's not. Like, he's clearly not. There, man. You know, I remember whenever, like they were so public and everything after like her conservatorship was over. And I just remember thinking like, you're gonna control her next. And
Oh,
then like
I didn't
like
think that.
it's just something felt off about him. He was good looking. A little too good looking.
No, you know what I thought? I was like, you know what? You're probably gonna do what Kevin Federline did. I think he was looking at a means to an end. Like he was
Oh
just
yeah.
sticking, like, I just gotta marry her to then get, because it doesn't make sense. You were together for I mean, things happen, I guess. But
Yeah.
y'all were together for 6 years. You saw Britney's crazy,
Yeah.
in essence. Y'all
Yeah.
got married, and then what happened?
He was just waiting for the conservatorship to be over. Because had he married her prior to that, that prenuptial agreement would have been even more ironclad. So, you know,
Mm.
I'm sure he was just waiting in the wings.
Britney was surrounded by vultures.
She really
Jesus
was.
Christ.
And you know what was interesting too, when it was announced that she was getting engaged, there was an actress, Olivia Spencer, who wrote a comment in her post and said, "Make him sign a prenup." And I was like I'd never seen a Hollywood actress like write that on someone, like on another celebrity. Like that shocked me. And so once the divorce was announced, I follow this page, comments by celebs on Instagram, and they like went back to it and they like, put a post like basically saying like good call or something like that, like because Olivia Spencer had told her, and then it was
Who's
revealed.
Britney Spencer?
She's done
Oh, she was in that movie. What was that movie?
she's done a few movies. I can't A lot of movies actually, but I can't recall one right now that.
Like the one with the three astronauts?
Oh yes, in yes, Hidden
Uh-huh.
Figures.
There we go. That was a
Yeah,
great movie, guys. Y'all should watch it.
great movie. Yeah. So she
Good
commented that
call.
good call, ma'am, good call. So to me, it was just kind of like, and then the wedding. The wedding was sus AF, like so suspect, super weird. Her hair wasn't even done, like,
She has no friends?
cause the ones that
Ever
was
seen
there, I was
something
like,
something?
I understand your hair being a hot mess at the party. That's fine. But to get married, girl. And she just I felt really bad for her because I thought she must be so happy because she's doing what she's wanted to do for so long and it's nobody controlling her. And I don't know if maybe she just thought this man must really love me. He's been with me all this time, we can finally get married. No. And then he gets her pregnant. And I'm sure he was waiting on that payout, but
Oh
then
my
it
God.
didn't work out.
Imagine.
Yeah. So that so so I was never 100% with him. Like something always felt off. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, like if you really but here's what really did it for me with him, all of the posts. If she clearly looked like she wasn't all there in her videos, you as her husband, why aren't you taking care of her? Like we talk crap about her family and everything her family did, but now you're her family. You married her and you're not taking care of her, you're not helping her get better. Like we can, and as much as I hate to bring them up because they seem to come up all the time, Kim Kardashian, she did what she could for Kanye. She tried to help him
Yeah.
out, uh, allegedly. But she tried to help him out for a while, right, with his mental health issues, taking his medicines and all that stuff. Because that's what a good spouse is supposed to do. That's what family is supposed to do. But then you have this situation. And it was videos of her being completely naked. It was videos of her dancing on a pole. Videos of her kind of just singing and like kind of weird things. Pictures or videos where she didn't even look like she was all there. Even her posts, what she would type out. Like, as her spouse, her life partner, you're not looking out for her? Like, bruh, I'm not married to you, but if you put something suspect online, I'm like, girl, take that down. What you
Matter of
do?
fact, password.
Like, like there's a reason why things happen, and I feel like that was one of those red flags for me. You waited till the conservatorship, red flag number one, was over. Then you didn't like even bother to look out for her when all this was going down online and everything, red flag number two. And then you start to slowly disappear because he was constantly defending her, doing all this and doing all that. Then he
So
disappeared.
he was letting her self destruct. So it'd be like, you know what? Brittany's intolerable at this point.
Yeah,
We have to get a divorce, make her seem like she's crazy or crazier.
yeah,
And he gets what he wants.
yeah.
That is crazy. You know what I'm thinking of that I meant to say earlier? Brittany in these Instagram posts is like she's a moment in time. Like she is stuck in the 2000s. Like look at her attire. Look at
Yeah,
like all the things that she does. Even the furniture in the background. Like
yeah.
it's nothing modern. I don't think she's worn anything like modern-ish even in her outings. Like
No.
it's like she's stuck in this moment in time.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. And like yeah, and like you said about her husband, he ain't ish. He
Mm-mm.
didn't look out for her. He was just looking
No.
at those dollar signs.
Yeah. And like to your point about her being stuck in time, It's kind of like Michael Jackson. Like,
Mhm,
his growth
mhm,
was stunted. A lot of people say that, people that, knew him very well, people that were a part of his life. His growth was stunted by his father, by the fact that, from a young age, a 5-year-old, he was thrust into the spotlight, and he couldn't interact with adults. Allegations aside, like, he couldn't be around adults. Like, I want to say Madonna or Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields was someone that loved him so much, that was so close to him, that his mother requested her to give a eulogy at his funeral. That's how close they were. And even she said that he could not really function around like adults in that way. Like, he was like, had that childlike spirit always. His growth was stunted. So now that you say that, it kind of clicks for me. Like, Britney's growth was stunted. Those 13 years are are not the beginning of it. Like, this goes back further, where she probably, like, it could even go back to Justin. See, I know I like him, because that was the first taste that she got of, like, being the villain of the story. That was the first taste of, like, media turning on her, fans turning on her.
mhm.
So yeah, I could see her being stuck in those times. I mean, that was what, 2002. She could definitely have been, like, stuck from back in those days. That's so sad.
That is sad. So, yeah, at least, he's not ish. She's getting a divorce. It
Thank
seems
God.
like the prenup is ironclad. She has like one of the best attorneys. I think it was the same attorney that Kim Kardashian had.
Oh,
Or, he ain't getting no money unless she wants
good
to.
for you, Brittany. Good for you, girl.
Yeah. So let's hope that, nothing falls through because he doesn't deserve it.
No,
And shame on him. Like, why are men asking women, this is the little
that
ass
part.
in me. Why are men asking women for money? That's preposterous. He should be ashamed of himself or any man that does that, to be honest.
Trash. Trash.
And on the flip side, women, y'all be asking for 100K alimony a month. Y'all not spend. What are you spending 100K on?
And then in
I know what I
addition,
would spend 100K on: Chanel or
wait,
Mez.
there's an additional 200 that they're asking for the kids, because apparently the kids need $200,000 to survive a month. What?
I'm like, y'all ridiculous. Okay,
Yeah,
women too.
yeah.
Y'all are to
We're
blame.
fair. We're equal here. We're
We're
equal.
equal. Everybody gets to smoke. Okay, so. All right. So one more thing about Brittany, Kevin Federline. He is just a thorn in my rear end. Like, he just does not go away.
He
So
definitely
now
get the smoke.
Kevin Federline has the audacity, according to TMZ, to go to court, or is thinking about going to court, to ask for an increase in child support from Britney Spears because he never bargained on having the kids full time when they hashed out the terms of the support. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Kevin gets $40,000 a month, which we covered earlier, for the two kids he shares with Brittany, Jaden James and Sean Preston. The amount is predicated on each kid having, I mean, on the amount is predicated on each of them having the kids 50% of the time. The reality, Brittany had the kids 0% of the time
Hmm.
for all those years.
Hmm.
But why didn't he negotiate beforehand? But whatever. So Sean Preston turns 18 in a couple weeks, so the support will end for one of the boys. However, Jaden's will stay intact till around June 2025 when he graduates high school. So realistically, 20K is a relevant amount if Kevin asks for an increase. But that amount could balloon if he proves he needs more money for 100% of Jaden's care.
Well, there's your reason right there, man. That's the reason. He could have asked years ago, but no. Now he wants to ask because he's losing one of the kids to adulthood. That's the reason. His greedy self.
I can't. I cannot.
I need Britney to, like, retire forever. I know y'all gonna hate me. I know Britney Spears fans gonna hate me for this, but I just want her to make enough money so that she could be good and
I
she could
think
help her
she's
kids.
already past that.
Not if she's paying $40K a month for child support, $10K a month for her soon to be ex husband luxury apartment. That's $50,000 right there a month. She's got to have some money somewhere if she's able to afford that. But I'm hoping she pulls a Future, and this is the only time I'm gonna say that. I'm hoping she pulls a Future and tells the court, you know what, I ain't got it, because that's how Future gets his child support to be like reduced. Because technically, he don't got nothing in his name. He rents all his jewelry and all the luxury stuff that he appears in his videos. So he flossing and flaunting, but really he tells the court he ain't got it, and then they relieve him. And you know what? He's gotten out of paying tons of money in child support because of that. So Britney should do the same.
I can't believe you threw Future in here, and you do not like him.
Do not like him, but you know what? In this instance, in this moment, I'm a rock with him. Just for right now.
I just can't believe that he's asking for more money because one of his, you know,
His own children,
kids
his own
is like
offspring.
coming up.
Yeah,
That's
because
crazy. He has
that's
six
his job,
kids, mind you. I think he has 6 kids.
and they're all living off of this money.
Exactly.
Because what he lived in LA, right? They lived in California, and they moved to Hawaii. Hawaii's more
Mhm.
expensive, isn't it? Like,
I think it's probably the same or even more.
what is your other baby mama doing?
Or other baby mamas. Isn't one of them like
Yeah.
Moesha? Like one of
The
in
girl
Moesha?
from Moesha, I think she was his
Yeah.
first baby mama, isn't she?
What was her name? Shay?
I don't,
Shay Jackson?
I don't think so. But either way, what do I think about Kevin Federline? Trash.
Can you insert like one of those emojis of like like a trash bag?
I will, just for him. Trash. Like,
I could.
dang. You
I
know
mean, if he's already getting 40K, I mean, I guess 20K, like why? Why?
Okay, so I know that like I've been told that life in LA is hard. It's, really expensive.
He's not working.
Exactly. But you are a grown man who has all your limbs and you're able to talk, you're able to function, you're able to walk, drive, talk, all of that. What is the problem?
Why do you sound like a Hispanic mom?
¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué tienes?
Falta.
Nada. Levántate. Like, I'll give you something to be bored about. Like, hello, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, for how many years now? 17 years, 18 years, he's been like taking all this money from this girl.
Let's do some mathematics, right? Because that's what we love to do. So 40K a month, right?
Uh-huh.
40,000 for 12 months. That's $480,000 a year.
48.
Times let's say 18 years because with the oldest one, whatever his name is, John Preston. So he has had 8.6. Can we see that?
Yes,
$8.6 million. He could have paid off a house. He could have,
paid
I
off
don't know, cars. Like I'm sure Brittany's gonna pay tuition if they go to college or whatever.
Right.
Like you should be set.
Uh-huh.
You probably squandered all your money. Now you're like, oh shit.
Right.
The other one is gonna be 18 in 2 years, like or less than 2 years actually, in a year and a half. I need to figure it out.
So, I live in Texas and I have my issues with the laws here, but there's this law that went into effect as of September 1st where you got to pay child support, you got to have a job. So, they're going to force you to have a job, essentially. I don't know the full specifics of it, but according to TikTok, you got to have a job. So, sir, do you have a job? What does your job do that you can't afford to take care of your kids? Because if Britney is paying child support, but you have the kids like most of the time or whatever, I mean, you should still be making enough, right? And then also, you're claiming them on your taxes, no? Because I would assume Brittany ain't getting none of that. So you're getting extra money in your taxes for these kids if you work, if you pay taxes. And then you're getting this child support money from this woman. Like, you are literally getting money for free here because, okay, I can give you at most like 5,000 a month for 2 kids. You get me? Like, now that they're older, they shouldn't need that much because they should be working too. Is Sean Preston working? Because he about to be 18. Is Jaden working? Because you know what? They could get jobs too. Like, what are we doing here?
You just sending everybody to work.
And why not?
I didn't say nothing. Don't beat me up. Jeez.
I'd be trying to put my 5-year-old nephew to work. Like, if you can do it. Like, why not? Because it doesn't make no sense. How did Britney, at the age of 10, win a singing competition? I think she won. She went on this singing competition, then got cast to work at a Disney show. Like, Disney money, y'all. And then at age 15, which means both her kids are older than she was when she got her first recording like contract. This girl's out here making money at 15. And y'all bums are asking her for money to this day?
She said, y'all bums.
Yeah, because the daddy in particular is a bum. Like, trash. And a bum. All the smoke. Can't stand him. Never
Is it
have.
after this? Did you say everything you can say?
He's probably the first trash ass dude that I can think of from back in the day. Like,
You know what? You're probably right. He was.
so I can't think of
OG
another.
gold digger.
Yeah. Because you saw women do it all the time. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's okay. But he was the first man, if you could call him a man, who was out here gold digging. That was so public. So that's interesting. Very interesting.
Well, hopefully, despite him being a gold digger, I hope that he raised these kids. I mean, they were away from the spotlight. Huh?
To not be bums? To make their own money? Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, now that you say it like that, I mean, if you see it, then you probably behave a certain way. So, well, let's forget that thought. Hopefully the kids aren't bums. I hope they take after their mom, and I mean the hardworking portion of it, not what she's currently going through, which we are very, very sad about.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess those are our final. I mean, I don't know. We had so many thoughts.
I know.
Final thoughts. Give me a final thought.
Trash.
Brittany, we hope you get better, okay? Because you were our childhood love. We love to dance with you. You were the OG, like, we were the OG TikTokers.
Like,
I know. Sometimes I
love you, girl.
Oh, what about I'm a slave for you? Where she was like, I can't even do it.
Okay, that's my fave. That's it. That's the one.
It was one of the best videos ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that concludes today's video on the rise and fall of Britney Spears. Hopefully she rises again, like Dee said, Let us know what you think in the comments about her life. Do you still like Britney Spears? Do you listen to her music? What do you think about her Instagram? That's really my question. Because do you think she's all there? Should we have freed her? These are, I mean, but freed her and then maybe she needs to go somewhere else. She's not okay. And of course she's not going to do it because she's been, under conservatorships for so long. So why would I want to go to like a rehab place to get better on my own? Like that doesn't make any sense. I just got my taste of freedom back.
Sure.
Jeez, Judge Judy? So guys, let us know what you think in the comments. I know it was a lot of information, but this was like basically all her life.
Yeah.
And we had a lot to say.
Yeah.
If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We have more than 100 subscribers. You guys are crazy.
I love it.
I love our crazy. You love our crazy. We all crazy or
Yep.
not. We're very informative sometimes,
Yeah.
and I think we're pretty funny, to
Yeah.
be honest. Uh, but thank you for following us, and we love commenting with you guys
Yeah.
and sharing our thoughts with you. Also, please share with your friends so we can all be friends and we can grow our community, which is our ultimate goal.
Yeah.
We also have social media, which Dee will tell you about.
We're on Instagram and TikTok at Hear Me Out DNE. And so you should be able to like find us fairly easily and make sure to follow, like, share our videos. We have clips almost daily, specifically on Instagram. So, giving you just like tidbits of what we've got going on and just redirecting your attention to some of today's biggest issues, guys. And also some not so big and just a lot of
And
fun
sometimes
stuff.
we just want to talk crap about stuff. But that basically concludes this video. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.